has as much perspective on what we're up against as anybody you're going to hear from today. He was born in Cuba, where he ended up having to flee to Venezuela in 1961 to escape communism. In 1972, he became a freedom fighter confronting communism all over the world. When Hugo Chavez took over Venezuela, he was one of the first to actively oppose, and he did successfully, firmly and effectively. But in 2004, he led a civic uprising that almost got Chavez out of Venezuela. Millions of Venezuelans joined him, but the effort was neutralized. And after 9 days of liberation by members of this democratic force, which Alonso calls co-suckers, due to his leadership during the failed uprising, this is a story that is really, really sad and gives you an idea of what this man's been through. His home was raided and totally destroyed to the ground by Chavez's mob. In his farm, over 30 people were executed, including 2 of his foster children, who were 12 and 10. He was forced to abandon Venezuela in April of 2004. It's when he came to the United States in search of freedom. He became an American citizen just last year. Since his arrival to the U.S., he's been traveling around our country warning Americans about the danger of falling into the claws of communism and promoting the resistance strategies needed to prevent losing the United States of America. I am so proud to present Roberto Alonso.
My fellow Americans, in 1959, when Castro took power, Cubans believed that because they lived on an island 90 miles off the U.S. coastline, it was some kind of guarantee that Castro could never create a communist regime, especially during the Cold War. Cubans were sure that the United States of America will not allow such a thing to happen. The vast majority of the Cuban people were suffering from what we call the Titanic syndrome. In 1999, when Chavez took power in Venezuela, the vast majority of the Venezuelan people were also suffering from the Titanic syndrome. Venezuelans believe that being the 5th largest oil producers in the world made it impossible for Chavez to install a communist regime in Venezuela. They were sure that the United States of America will not allow such a thing. Both Cubans and Venezuelans placed their faith in the United States of America and the American people. But now, in 2012, the sad truth is that the vast majority of the American people themselves are suffering from the Titanic syndrome. Most Americans do not understand that they have been supporting communist ideas and programs, and that these programs are the cause of our economy disaster. Many Americans blame almost anything else, and they're too far off to understand. They too feel it will be impossible for our country to fall to the claws of communism.